VR gaming is an incredible leap forward in immersion, but let's talk about the one thing still holding it back. Your brain. Specifically, that wonderful lump of neurons that hates when your body does one thing, while your eyes tell it another. Hi, if you're new to my channel, my name is Ari with FitPro VR. I have a master's degree in applied exercise science, a bachelor's degree in kinesiology, and am a current physical education teacher for K-8 elementary school students. Not only that, I really like working out in VR. Enter the Roto VR Explorer, a high-tech motorized chair designed to solve one of VR's biggest issues, motion sickness. It also happens to make seated VR gaming way more immersive and intuitive. How? Science.
Yes, science!
Let's break it down. Why does VR make us sick in the first place? Your brain relies on three main sensory systems to understand where you are in space. Vision. Your eyes track motion and tell your brain where it's going. Vestibular system. The fluid-filled canals in your inner ear detect movement, balance, and acceleration. Proprioception. That's a hard word to say. Try it. See, told you. The body's sense of where its limbs are in space, using muscle and joint feedback. When all three things agree, everything feels super normal. But when one of them disagrees, chaos ensues. In VR, your eyes see movement, but your inner ear doesn't feel it. Your brain, the ever overprotective parrot, assumes that this mismatch must mean one thing. You've been poisoned. Because back in our evolutionary past, the main cause of sensory disorientation was neurotoxin ingestion. So when your visual system tells your brain you're sprinting through Skyrim, but your vestibular system says, nope, we're sitting on a couch, your brain goes into panic mode and triggers nausea to get rid of that imaginary poison. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why VR makes you want to puke. Sometimes. So how does the Roto VR Explorer trick your brain into not thinking you've been poisoned? The answer lies in sensory motor synchronization, a fancy way of saying if your body moves, with your vision, your brain stays happy. The chair rotates when you turn your head, giving your vestibular system the motion it expects. This real-world movement syncs with what your eyes are seeing, eliminating the sensory mismatch that causes motion sickness. Your inner ear detects actual motion, sending the right signals to your brain and preventing nausea. Essentially, the Roto VR chair restores harmony between your eyes, ears, and body, stopping motion sickness before it even starts. Congratulations, you have outsmarted millions of years of evolutionary programming with one purchase. Alright, so not puking is a solid start. But what else does the Roto VR Explorer do for your brain and body? Number 1, it enhances spatial awareness. Your vestibular system and proprioception work together to help you navigate the world. When you turn your head, your brain builds a mental map of your environment. In a standard VR setup, your eyes move but your body doesn't, creating a disconnect. With a Roto chair, your whole body rotates with your head, reinforcing natural spatial perception. This means better coordination, faster reaction times, and less cognitive load. Number 2, it engages your motor cortex. The motor cortex controls movement. Normally, VR is a passive experience from the neck down, with your hands doing all the work. But when you rotate with the Roto chair, your whole body is involved, triggering deeper motor learning and memory formation. This is why pilots and astronauts train in motion-based simulators. By engaging multiple brain regions at once, movement-based immersion enhances skill retention and improves in-game reflexes. Number 3, haptic feedback. Now, the brain loves tactile input, and touch is one of the strongest sensory reinforcements we have. The Roto VR Explorer's haptic feedback stimulates somatosensory processing, meaning your brain believes what it's experiencing more deeply. First-person shooters, you feel the impact of the incoming fire, adding tension and urgency. The chair's movements reinforce directionality, making traversal feel more natural. Horror games, the added motion and rumble make you regret every life decision that led you here. This kind of multi-sensory input makes VR far more immersive than just visuals and audio alone. Now, the Roto VR Explorer is fantastic for seated VR games, but let's talk about what it's not designed for. Room scale games. If you play a lot of Beat Saber, Supernatural, maybe T for God, this isn't going to help you. Those games require full body movement, and this chair is meant to keep you seated. Games that require dodging or stepping in real life. If your game requires you to move side to side to duck or avoid obstacles, the chair won't track that movement. flight sims, and racing games that require full motion simulation. While turning is immersive, the chair doesn't provide pitch or roll motion, meaning you won't feel banking or turning in a jet or the force of a car's acceleration. It's all about matching the right tool for the right experience. For games where you sit and rotate, the Roto VR Explorer is unmatched. For full body, room scale VR, you'll still need some open space. So is the Roto VR Explorer worth it? Scientifically speaking, absolutely. Now the price tag is a little high, but if you suffer from motion sickness in VR, this chair fixes it, no problem. If you love high immersion games like FPS, exploration, and horror, this is a game changer. Literally. If you're looking for a brain-friendly way to enhance spatial awareness and motor engagement, this is one of the best VR accessories on the market. Of course, it's an investment, but when you compare it to VR treadmills that are over $1,000, this is one of the most practical ways to elevate your VR experience. My name is Ari with FitPro VR, and don't forget to get your workout in today.